Hi, this is Keith Weaver with the Top Executive Strategy Podcast, where CEOs, COOs, and business owners share strategies for better success. This is 6 questions in 9 minutes because the best strategies are concise business advice. And so we're going to get right to our guest today with question number one. In a few sentences, tell us who you are and what you do.
Sure. My name is Dave Coffey. I'm the CEO of Coffey Engineering and Surveying here in Laramie, Wyoming. I am a professional land surveyor and professional engineer. I've been doing this for just under 30 years. I'm also a commercial and residential land developer.
So a lot of experience in land development and engineering. So we look forward to hearing some of your expertise and also, your business strategies and things. So speaking of that, question number two, what's the best thing about being a business leader?
I think the best thing about being a business leader is being able to help guide and persuade others to follow your vision. I love helping and mentoring young people, helping them realize their potential. I really enjoy seeing young people that I've had a chance to influence spread their wings and become successful in their own right.
Well, and you mentioned inspiring them to follow your vision, and obviously you have to be able to have a clear vision and articulate that to them.
Exactly right.
So, and sometimes business leaders don't do that. But so, question number three, I hear from other business leaders that a lot of times their people strategy in their business is far more complicated, challenging than the actual business strategy of running their business. Your thoughts?
Well, people in at least in my business and certainly many others, people are the number one asset. They are the most important component to being successful in a consulting business. We the culture and I'll talk about culture here in a minute, but the culture in our company that we've developed is centered around taking care of our number one asset being our people. It's hard to find people these days that are not only qualified, but it's difficult to find people that actually fit the specific culture that makes them successful.
Well, and obviously having a defined culture so you know what that culture is. I mean, it's
Exactly right.
hard to get them to fit a culture if you're not sure what your culture is.
That's exactly right.
So, well, like you said, I know you wanted to talk about culture. So, question number four, what strategy would you really like to share with other leaders?
Well, I kind of hit on it a little bit in that first question there, but hiring to fit your culture is been probably the most important thing that I've realized in order to uh, get people on board that uh, can be A players. If you're not hiring people that are a direct fit with the culture that you want to, uh, you know, develop in your company, then you're going to have a higher turnover rate. So we've spent a lot of time developing our culture and our culture statement. Our culture statement is the focus on the well-being of our exceptional employees and their families, and that provides an optimal environment to exceed the expectations of our clientele. So, what does that? What kind of a person? What kind of person does that? Uh, what kind of people do we need to have work in our company? We need. I'm looking for people that have solid soft skills, people that work well in a team, and people that are kind. And if I can find people that have those specific characteristics, I can generally teach the rest. Obviously, there's some limiting criteria like education and background and experience that can get weeded out very easily with some simple review of one's resume. But those soft skills, that's a different technique, different talent, and you have to, I believe, understand what the culture of your company is before you can actually find the right fits for your company. You have to be able to define what that culture looks like before you can even start narrowing the field down. And getting those right people on board is probably more important to me than, their GPA or their their technical background.
Right. Well, and it does take quite a bit of time to develop that culture. It's not, unfortunately, a one and done or, an easy fit. Sometimes it takes time to develop that and then to reinforce that constantly. So it sounds like you've worked hard to develop that culture that you do have, though.
That is absolutely true. We defining what that culture looks like on paper is sometimes difficult, and as the leader in the business, you have to walk the walk.
Very well said. All right. So question number 5, what other successful business owners, CEOs like yourself, would you like to maybe do a shout out to, or you think would be good on the podcast?
I wanted to shout out to my good buddy Brad Enzi, who's the CEO of the Laramie, Wyoming Chamber Business Alliance. Brad is a good executive leader and has helped me considerably over the years. Another one would be Bill Shepler, who's the CEO of Constructive Hire. Bill is an expert in recruiting. His business recruits.
Well, it sounds like both have kind of helped you through the years, which to me is a sign of a great leader as well, that will go out and mentor and work with others and help them as well. So,
Yep.
So question number 6, just kind of a final fun question. Tell me about one of your favorite past bosses.
I haven't had a whole lot of bosses, but my favorite boss, my former employer, the CEO of the former employer, who hired me right out of college. I still stay in contact with him. His name is Howard Johnson. He was the CEO of Vinberg Miller Engineers. He's now retired, but Howard was a guy that liked to give people a chance. He gave me a chance and was there to answer my questions, was encouraging, was there to correct me when I made a mistake in a coaching manner. I think that's important. He wasn't a yeller and a screamer like a lot of former bosses of mine have been. A nurturing person that wanted to grow talent.
Well, it sounds like a lifelong friendship. You said that you still stay in touch with them, so
Yep.
That's an awesome relationship to have. So it's been great having you on. I really appreciate your insights and your being here. Before we leave, can you tell people how they can find you, get a hold of you?
You can find us, find me on our webpage, coffey-engineering.com, and feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn. I'm an open networker.
Awesome. Well, I hope people do reach out to you and glean more from your insights and your experience. And again, we appreciate you being here. And this is Keith Weaver with the Top Executive Strategy Podcast. And for more insights and ideas, you can follow us at Weaver Business Coaching and find us on LinkedIn. And of course, you can listen to us on your favorite podcast platform. And we wish you the best success.
Thanks, Keith.